Welcome to another 10 at 10 for 10 daily training and leadership development seminar. Today, I'm actually going to get right into it because Tom, the furry hat guy, has something very interesting to go over. I don't know what he's going to be sharing with us, but if his name is any indication, it should be pretty interesting. So I'll turn it over to him. Take it away, Tom.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me out there? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Loud
Awesome.
and clear.
So yeah, there's a lot of people out here I don't know personally, and we probably have never met yet in person. Hopefully, we get to see each other in the Philippines and in by next year, and we all get 1,000 points on our contest. So that's really exciting. With that in mind too, I actually live here in the Philippines. So I live here probably like an hour flight away from Ace himself. So I'm looking to possibly fly out there and meet up with Ace as well. So yeah, so I was asked to come out here today because I'm seeing some pretty good success with the full funding platform, and obviously to help you guys see like what you guys could be doing on a daily basis in order to grow your full funding even more and help your teams grow even more. So basically, let me see if I can share my screen here. Let me see. Am I able to share my screen? Okay. Let's see.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So let me just, I'm opening up a whiteboard here because I know that a lot of people are visual, and I'm a pretty visual guy as well because we always have visual learners, auditory learners, and people that need to feel the information. So here's stuff that I've learned about the industry, and the thing is that I've been in the industry for over 20 years, and I'm originally from California, born and raised, and if you guys, if there's any, okay, I had to mute someone out because I was hearing background noise. So yeah, so I'm originally from California, born and raised, and I went to I actually ended up living in Texas back in 1998, and the reason I moved there is because just the economy was better in Texas, and back then the gas prices was going up to like $1.64 in California, and then when I moved to Texas, it was only 75 cents a gallon there. When boy, those are the good old days, right? But anyways, so yeah, so after I moved to Texas, I got approached with a couple different things. I was actually on the newspapers, looking at opportunities because I like to look at business opportunities all the time. And one of my first opportunities I got into was about $500 to get started in, and then I got started in that, and I failed miserably in it. And the reason I failed miserably at it was because they told me I had to actually call people on the phones. And I don't know about you, but something happens to your phone once they tell you you need to call. It all of a sudden becomes like this heavy brick that you have to like hold up because it's like you get scared to even talk to anybody. And the thing is that I had to kind of like get over that belief because I mean, one, it's only a person. Number two, they're not going to reach their hand through the phone and grab me and kill me or something. And number three, you just have to learn how to bridge the gap and build a relationship with people. So it took a lot of personal growth in order for me to get comfortable with just talking to people in general. And one of the biggest things that I always suggest people to do is that I did to get over my fear was hold on, I'm trying to type this out. Turn on my keyboard here. Okay, one of the things I did, tricks to get over your fears in talking to people, is one of the things I did is I attended seminars. And the biggest, now most of you people all go, duh, of course. So the thing is that I figured if I just attend some seminars, I'm going to be surrounded with people, so I'm going to have to be forced to get out of my comfort zone because people are around every time. And it's funny that I did that, and I decided to do that because, my first few years of doing, affiliate marketing, network marketing, MLM or whatever, I was just failing big time because I was not getting over my fear of talking to people. So for 4 years straight, I was just failing. And my first seminar was in 2006 when I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired of not getting over this fear. And one of the trainers, actually, I'll type her name here. So her name is Danny Johnson. I don't even know if she does trainings anymore. I think you could probably look up her stuff, so her recordings or anything like that, because what is this? That is, delete that out. Just move it out of the way. So yeah, so I went to one of her seminars, just because she was actually a trainer in the network marketing industry, specifically just training people on how to build relationships and learn how to break the mold. And so one of the things that Danny taught me is, when you talk to a person, you always want to look at one thing here, and that is you always want to ask people about their families. Okay, so one of their family, and this is part of the form technique. So some of the things I'll do, like when I'm talking to a person, I'll just be like, so how's the family doing? How are the kids? Or if I don't know them at all, I'll just be like, so are you married? Are you you have kids, things like that? And they'll be like, oh, no, I have a wife, and or they'll say, yes, I have a husband and I have 3 kids. Oh, really cool. So I kind of build on that. So I say, so how old are your kids? They tell me, oh, my kids are this. I'm like, oh, wow, you must really love them a lot. Oh, yes, I really do. Okay, so what, and then I'll just kind of go into like some other things that kind of build upon, just talking about families. So, hey, what are you doing right now for your kids' future? Like, are you building a college fund for them? Are you just like surviving, paycheck to paycheck? Or do you have a something in alignment with what you're doing to help your kids' futures, as well as yourself, things like that. So that's how I build upon, like, family. So while we were at the seminar, Danny threw a challenge to us. She says, when you're here, I'm gonna teach you guys to just form each other on the breaks. So I want you just to go out there and you don't know anyone here, just talk to them. So I was one of those types who had a desire in my belly to succeed so much that I went to the event not having a lot of money to even go. I was working at a restaurant as a restaurant manager at the time, and I actually took a credit card. I was already in debt already, but I was like, all right, well, I have this credit card. I have enough to actually get a flight there, but I don't have enough to get a hotel. So what I did is I just packed everything in a backpack, and I literally slept outside the seminar. I had the desire to succeed so much. I slept out there with 10 other people who were broke like me at the time, that were sleeping outside the seminar room as well. So I got a really cool thing. Like, I got to network with those other 10 people, and we got to share our stories with each other and really kind of have like this powwow, where we are, and some of the people that attended seminars in the past as well, and how great Danny is, and the learnings that they learned as well. And some people were actually even on their 7th seminar, going to her events. And I was like, wow. So I really got my eyes open to other people. And I share this because this is all about, just being around people and learning to be in vibration with these people. Because, sometimes when we're at home in front of our Zooms, just us with our families, we're not around the vibration of other people. They always say, if you want to be successful in life, you have to be around, 5 other people that are successful too. If I'm around, broke people all the time, then I'm going to be the 5th broke person or the 6th broke person. So you want to constantly get around people that are, have the same desire as you. They are seeing success, or they want success as bad as you, or as good as you do. And so I just started like learning this stuff in 2006. And my mind just started like twisting and turning and kind of getting confused. Well, no, I thought it was I need to work a job and go to college And I thought I needed to just, do this. And I started like learning, that you have to work harder on yourself than you do your business. And that's something that's something that not even Danny told us. Danny was just telling us how to build relationships. But this comment came from a guy named Jim Rohn. And the late Jim Rohn told us you need to work harder on yourself. And one of the things I do every single morning, without fail, every single morning for the last 20 years, every single morning I get up and I do a 1 hour guided meditation every single morning, and I connect with God. And whatever your belief system is, whatever you do, that's up to you. My belief is I believe in God. That's what I believe in. I believe in God, the universe, everything, right? But I believe that you have to drain this brain out here, because there's something that goes on in your brain that will start taking over. And it's called like the old programs, stuff that will go into your mind. Well, that didn't work out. Well, this didn't work out. Well, this didn't work out, so it must be a scam. And it starts going in your head. Oh, this person's running for president. Oh, that female, why is she running for president? Who cares? So you have to like kind of, I always say, drain your brain. And the thing is, like I was raised like as a born again Christian, so I didn't believe in meditation, myself, because I thought it was like, oh, it's evil to meditate. But then I found out that Jesus meditated, so I was like, oh. And then I started learning about meditation even more, that it's actually just a deeper form of prayer, where when you pray to God, you're asking God for what you want, but when you meditate to God, you're listening to God and seeing what God is telling you. And then when I started learning and diving down into meditation, that's when I started seeing like more success in my business, because I started getting inspired thoughts. See what I mean? On what to do. And most people go, please, please, God, give me this, give me this, give me this. But they never sit back and listen, go, God, what do you want me to do? And sit back and breathe and listen and clear your mind. So, and I'm not trying to make this a religious thing, because, religion can obviously go into a lot of different avenues. I'm just telling you what I do and what I believe in and what I meditate on, because meditation is not just purely connecting with God, but it's connecting with yourself. And everybody has a self, and you have to connect with that inner part of you so that you can get the higher vibrations, you can get the inspiration, and you can carry forth with your business. So with that in mind, when I started learning about working harder on yourself, I started learning about affirmations. And affirmations is all about telling yourself what you can do. Like, stuff like I learned affirmations at a very young age. I learned it when I was 19 at this, before I started going to Danny. But I started learning about, what do we tell ourselves on the inside? Most people are like, well, I'm broke. I can't afford that. Oh, I can't afford that. I can't do that. Oh, what's that guy doing? And I can't believe that rich guy over there. Oh, and they start going, I, I. And you start learning that if you start saying the word I am, anything you attach to it afterwards. So watch. So anytime I say the words I am, right? If I say I am hold on a second. I am ... Whatever you put afterwards is what's forming you. That's what's forming in here. And sometimes we're so bogged down with so much belief systems throughout the years that it's going to take a long time of filling your stuff with good stuff in, because they say good stuff in, good stuff out. You put bad stuff in, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. And you hang out with other people, oh yeah, I'm broke too. And the other person, I'm broke too. Oh my God, give me a high five, I'm broke too. So you stay broke. So the thing is, and the thing is, some people are like, well, I don't have anybody to hang out with that's rich. I said, okay. Well, do you know that there's a thing called did you know that there's a thing called audiobooks, and there's a thing called free YouTube videos that talk about affirmations and personal growth and all that? So I didn't have a lot of rich friends myself. So what did I do? I found 5 trainers that were billionaires and millionaires, and I started listening to their stuff. So I figured if I didn't have 5 rich people in my circle, I had 5 trainers that I could listen to their audios and books, and they become my best friends. And so I started listening to them, then my broke friends. And guess what had started happening? I started listening to them, going to their seminars, and then for some strange reason, I started growing. And then my old friends that I used to hang out with, I just didn't feel comfortable hanging out with them anymore because they started doing stuff on hating on me and trying to bring me down to their levels. And then sometimes I was going back and forth like this, trying to break away. So what I did is I just started building a community of people that were being successful and creating relationships with those types of people. And if I didn't have those types of people, I found them at seminars. I found them at seminars. You know, another guy is Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins. I went to his event and that completely changed everything for me. Everything. It just drained my brain of like Tony Robbins was probably the most impactful leader I could ever recommend. When I went to his first event, I was, again, at the time, I could barely afford a ticket. I could barely even afford a hotel room. I think I stayed at the Motel 6 just so I could go. And I remember I was scraping the funds together just to get like a $1,200 VIP ticket because I was like, well, VIP is like 6 rows back, so I'll be closer to the spit section I can as much. And I say the spit section is always the section where the millionaire spit on you. So I always say run for the front row if you can, because when they spit on you, then you're getting that vibration of a millionaire on you, right? So so then I started like really like taking this into consideration. I started buying all of Tony Robbins' stuff. I would watch his stuff on YouTube. I would just plug into his podcast. I would plug into anything that he said to get my mind to change. I would listen to his audios while I slept at night. I'd have headphones sleeping with his audios. I would start listening to affirmations, getting rid of this gobbledygook. And the thing is that a lot of people will come to me and say, well, that's great for you, Tom, but I can't do that. I'm like, well, then that's if you just said I can't, you just said another I am statement. And that's for you to decide what you want to do, because it's not about just, pursuing another trainer to become better. It's about having the desire to do it. And when you have a fire in your belly that you're going to change who you are on the inside, I got to tell you, every single person listening right now, all 32 of you who are on this right now, you can build a desire inside yourself. But I'll tell you right now, not everyone's going to do it. Maybe like 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or maybe 10 of you will do it, but not everyone's going to do it. When you become so obsessed with personal growth, you need to write that down. I need to become obsessed with growing. When you can do that, you'll just start noticing at a point in time, success starts happening for you. And if it doesn't happen for you in that way, then there's something you're doing, or there's something still in your programming that's stopping you. But you have to look at it this way. So I'll give you some tidbits on what I did to become successful. Steps to becoming successful for yourself. And this is not even about making money. This is about working harder on yourself, because that's the biggest thing. I don't talk about, oh, well, no, you just need to go and pull funding and do this and do that, right? No, I say work. You need to obviously, get a morning prayer meditation practice. That means just spending, like if you wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, wake up at 5:30 a.m. and spend about 30 minutes to an hour of meditation and prayer. I've actually designed my own meditations on my own YouTube channel. You can always look me up. It's Furry Hack Guy on YouTube. But I've made my own meditations for free. I don't have any links under my stuff or anything. I give away free guided meditations to help people attract more in their lives. So I do. So you need to get a morning prayer meditation. If it's hard for you to meditate, do guided meditations. I would say do guided meditations, because my mind wanders all the time, right? And this gets you in the vibration of feeling positive feelings in your life. Will this happen overnight? No. It depends on how much gobbledygook and how much of the onion you need to peel to get closer and closer to the core of who you truly are. Because I truly believe in my heart and soul. Hold on, let me erase this for a second. Okay. So I truly believe in my heart and soul that we all have we were all put on this planet for good, right? I don't believe that we were put on this planet to work. The thing is that I believe we were all put on this planet to do good in this life and do good for others and give back and service. So I always believe that in my heart and soul, whatever you believe in, that's your belief, but this is just mine. I'm just sharing with you my beliefs. So hopefully it can inspire you. I'm not telling you you have to do this. I'm just telling you what's worked for me. Okay. So what's worked for me is, one, I truly believe that we were put on this planet to be happy. That's it, to be happy. It's the programming that's caused us to create unhappiness. And I believe that we are already in heaven. We're already here. But most people are listening to negative programs, news, TV, you're watching drama and Netflix and all this stuff, instead of taking an hour a day to listening to motivational podcasts, to listening to, motivation from Star Trek, like we listened in the pre-show, to listening to guided meditations every single morning and breathing with these guided meditations and putting headphones and connecting with God, the universe, whatever you believe in. But to listening to positive affirmations daily, I always say, go for that walk in the morning and go for an hour walk and just repeat an hour of affirmations pick a trainer that you want on YouTube. It's free information, right? Pick 5 trainers, but pick one trainer at a time and really master what that trainer is teaching you. I went to Danny Johnson and Tony Robbins. Once I mastered, I actually went to Tony first, but I felt I gained mastery of his stuff, and then I went to Danny Johnson, and then I started learning what she was teaching. And then you just take kind of tidbits of what you learn from these trainers that you're learning from and start applying it, the best parts, the highlights, to your own life and to your own business. And so then I started doing this. I started, so yeah, let me write that, listening to affirmations daily. And I do like 1 hour a day of those without fail, right? So number 3, I started looking at my physical. How was I treating this body that I'm now filling my mind? Because your body follows what your mind is thinking. So the thing is that if my body will also follow my mind. My mind will also follow what my body is feeling. So if I'm feeling like crud every day and filling my what do you call it, my body with non-nourishing foods and processed foods that have like all these crappy ingredients like MSG and monodiglycerides and all these things I can't even read on the labels when I go in the stores, you have to really think about what you're buying. Are you eating enough, fruits and vegetables, or are you eating enough, for people that love to eat one single ingredient foods. So for myself, I thought, this is just a personal belief of mine, but I thought going vegan was the way to do that. But then I started having issues with my body, like, digesting and just stomach issues. So I started learning about meat. I started learning about the carnivore diet and single ingredient foods, like, what's in steak, what's in beef, what's in chicken, and then you start reading these other ingredients. What's in your box of cereal? It's da 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 da, and there's like 50 ingredients in that box of cereal. Or if you go to Chick-fil-A, there's literally 50 ingredients in that Chick-fil-A sandwich. What are you doing to like really look at one ingredient? And this is about eating clean, drinking, regular amounts of water, and so it's just, looking at what you are consuming, read ingredients. Okay, that's what I do. You know, is anyone here in the chat like do the same thing, like read ingredients when you go to the stores? Because they always say like when you go to the stores, you know, you want to look at literally what's on the walls there. I don't know if you guys knew this, but do I look 50 years old? Seriously, do I look 50 years old? Because I'm 50 years old, guys, and most people think I'm just in my 30s. And the thing is that that's because I'm walking proof that I meditate daily, I eat right, and I do this. I work out 5 days a week. Okay, and I've been doing that since I was 16 years old. And that's the thing right there. I work out 5 days a week without fail. I make sure that the first thing I do every single wake up, before I get on a Zoom, before I go prospect, before I do any of that stuff, is I work on this. You work on yourself, because work harder on yourself more than you do your business, you will see success. If you don't do that and you're just like, well, you know, I guess I'll just kind of listen to what this guy with a cowboy furry hat's doing. I guess I'll do it. And the thing is, the key word is also consistency. So where did my thing go? Did it fall off? That is okay. I don't know where that went. That's weird. So the biggest thing right here, guys, is consistency. So if you're doing this on a daily basis, wait, I don't even spell that right. Consistency. Okay. If you're doing this consistently every day, you know, you're doing you're doing a guided meditation daily. You're doing the affirmations daily. You're doing reading or listening to an audiobook or listening to an audiobook a day. Oops. Audiobook day. That's one of the biggest things for myself too, because my mind tends to wander sometimes. So I always need to listen to something instead of just reading it sometimes. Hold on, I'm trying to move this over. It's not going. Okay, so that's a couple things I do, and then another thing I do on a daily basis is, of course, working out 4 to 5 days a week without fail. Now the reason why I say consistency is because some people will do this. They'll listen to today's training, and you'll do a guided meditation for the first 2 days. The third day you miss it, and the fourth day, okay, I'll do another one. Fifth day you miss it. Sixth day you miss it. Oh, 7th day you do it. 8th day you miss it. 9th day you miss it. And then the 10th day you do it. You need to commit to yourself every single day. I look at this as almost like I'm putting on my my personal growth makeup. Okay, you know, women, now you lovely ladies out there, put your makeup on a day. Well, what have you done on the inside of yourself to put on your personal growth makeup? You know, like who here is doing that every single day without fail? You know, and I'm not seeing any feedback in the chat, so it doesn't look like people are actually doing that. Is anyone doing any of this stuff a day? You know, listening to a guided meditation, you know, listening to affirmations, reading or doing an audio book a day, working out, taking care of yourself. Is anyone doing that here? And if I don't see any comments on here saying like you are, you know, if you put a 1 in the chat saying like, you know, I am doing this, or, you know, I need to do this daily for yourself, you know, type in that as well. I'm not going to judge you. I'm just going to put some love on you, because the thing is that when I started doing this every single day, I started seeing like a lot of results in my business. I started seeing, people being attracted to what I was doing. I started seeing more positivity, more growth, more inspiration on what to do next. And I also did things like I started doing things where I started challenging myself to get out of my comfort zone. You know, that's one of the biggest things is if you're, hold on, where's this at? Okay. I always say this, you guys can write this down if you like. if you're not growing, you're, oops, you're dying. See, because you need to constantly focus on growing. Because if you know, the thing is that you need to become, uh, comfortable with being, oops, uncomfortable. Because uncomfortable equals growth. You see? And a lot of people are not comfortable doing things. And so they turn away from it. They just kind of go, well, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not going to do it. Okay. So you don't want to reach out to a person and just be like, hey, I got some free information on something that's you know that could possibly change your life and turn you into a millionaire within a year. And I have this free funnel that I want you to take a peek at. And if you like it, great. Let's follow through on the next step. If you don't, then that's okay. We'll still remain friends. But the thing is there's people not taking action at all, and they're not doing anything to do things. Because the thing is that if you guys want to see success in life, the first success you can actually do for your you know, for your life or your business is working on yourself. Because if you're working on yourself, well, that's your first part of success for the day. Hold on, where's the? I'm trying to move this thing over. Okay. So the thing is that when you are constantly focused on just working on yourself, then you're gonna see success for yourself. So yeah, so I started doing that, and then within like a few years time after just working on myself and just, you know, meditating on what I wanted, visualizing with what I wanted, because you need to come up with a like a why in your life. And they always say, just trying to clear this page out. Okay, so they always say, like, if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's not big enough. And so one of the things I had to find out was what was a why that made me cry, right? And one of the things I remembered was I remember seeing my mom when I was 15 years old, and she was crying on the what do you call it, on the kitchen table one morning. And I'm like, Mom, why are you crying? And all of a sudden I walked up a little closer, and her face was on the table crying. And she looks up, and all of a sudden I see a stack of bills that were literally like in the red, where she couldn't pay the electric bill, she couldn't pay the mortgage. We were about to get kicked out of our house, and she was like crying. And all of a sudden I started getting emotional too. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, well, we have to move. And I said, what? And I was kind of getting emotional too, because at the time we were living in a home that I was, you know, I was very happy to be at. I was very content. I was, you know, I had lots of friends and a lot of great things around me. And I didn't want to lose that home either. And the thing was, I just kind of swore to myself, like, you know, when I get, what's that happening? I just kind of swore to myself that I was going to work so hard in my life that I was going to get to a point where I was going to help myself and others never ever get to a point where we're crying on the tables because we can't, you know, we're not able to pay our bills. And so that's kind of like the why that made me cry. And so that's why I said, you know, you just have to come up with your own why yourselves. You know, it could be like your kids, you know, like I always say, if in life you're out there and you work so hard, like, you know, say like you know, you work so hard that they say, like, you have two kids, and two of your kids were about to be taken away from you because you weren't working hard enough. They're going to be gone the next day. social services because you can't afford to pay for them or whatever, or they're just going to be gone. You need to find out what's going to, if you need to find out, like, hey, are your kids big enough to be your why? Or that's going to push you so hard that your kids will be gone tomorrow, that you need to, all you need to do is put in the effort, work so hard to make it happen. That they'll, if you don't make it happen, they'll be gone. And I don't need to go to a lot of training here because full funding actually takes that. I'm just here to share my story and what I do on myself, because I know a lot of people here, obviously I can see with the comments in the chat that not a lot of people here work on themselves. Will Smith here, says he does some of these things and is growing and has new things to develop with it each day. And I commend you on that. And we need to start. If you guys are not doing these things that I presented today, it's time to start. Because the thing is that I only became successful because I got rid of the stuff that was going on in here. And a lot of you out there have a lot of crappy programming going on inside of yourselves. And does anyone here feel like they have some programming in themselves that's kind of holding them back at times? Put a 1 in the chat if that's you. And like I said, I'm not going to judge you. I just want to hear it because I'm obviously going to put some love onto you to make sure that you're bold enough to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and come out here and just say, look, I'm not perfect. I'm going to come out here and say, look, I'm going to put a 1 in the chat because I'm not here to hide from anybody, and know that I'm a growth in process. I'm even though I still have gotten over a lot of these hurdles, I still have a lot of programming I need to work on in life. There's still stuff I need to work on. I still, till this day, still seek out trainers. I still buy out the audiobooks. I still go on YouTube and listen to motivational podcasts because I know that the mind is your universe. And if you don't control your universe will control you. You need to ask yourself, and I know a lot of people out there are not commenting because they're too scared to even put it out there. And the thing is that that's because your universe is now controlling you. What are you doing to take charge and control your own universe? And that is your mind. Your mind needs to take your mind needs to be controlled by your inner self. And that's what you need to do in order to become successful in anything in life, not just full funding, but anything in life. So with that being said, guys, that's kind of like what I wanted to share today. And that's all I got for you guys.
Hey, Tom, that was excellent. That was really excellent. I'm a health coach for a large hospital system in South Carolina, and of course, I'm preaching the nutrition and the exercise to patients every day. But I personally do not do enough with the mental side of it, and I appreciate you sharing that knowledge with us.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate your feedback.
All right, any other questions, comments, anything of the sorts? I thought it was a great presentation. Good job, Tom.
That was amazing, Tom. I also love Danny Johnson. I went to one of her events. She's amazing. Yeah, very good. I really enjoyed everything you had to say tonight, Tom. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Hey, Tom. Excuse me, Lisa. Tom, unless I missed it somehow, you didn't share with us the first question I had about you, and that's how'd you get that furry hat guy nickname?
Okay, so I'll actually answer that. Thanks, Greg. I tend to start getting see, I meditate so much that I kind of feel like God leads me in different ways. So I kind of just get these inspirational things on what to say. I actually did not take any notes today, like to plan what I was going to say. I had no clue. So whenever I do Zooms, I actually just go by what I feel inspired to say at the moment. So it just kind of flows in different directions. So, so speaking about that, Greg, what I ended up doing was when I went to my first Danny event in 2006, I actually wore a different type of furry hat, you know, because you can see there's fur on this was the one I made, by the way. But I actually wore like this bucket furry hat. It kind of looked like a pimp hat. And that was the time when people at the seminar started calling me furry hat guy. And then I started, I wasn't called it myself. People started calling me that at the Danny event. And then I went, okay, I'll go with it. And then that's when they started like, you know, they started calling me, you know, hey, it's Tom, that furry hat guy's here. And I started going to event after event after event, networking, getting to know people and all that stuff. And then I started, you know, carrying it off to, you know, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, furry hat guy, furry hat guy, furry hat guy. And then that's when like, you know, things started like going everywhere. And that's basically the story of how the furry hat came about. Very
The best nicknames are ones that are given to you and not ones that you give yourself.
awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
Alrighty, right. Any other comments, questions, things of that nature? Going once, going twice, and I'll stop the recording here.